well. Y'all top of the morning, man. Welcome in. Today is December the 8th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Do things as we always do. We'll go through a quick recap. We'll go through a couple of the comments, and then we're going to jump into the slate. I always say try to make the show efficient and effective, but show's been going over a little bit today. So I haven't broken down every single game. I talked about this in the Discord this morning. I haven't broken down every single game today, but I have made 2 plays so far. Looking to add a few. I got super busy yesterday doing some home stuff, messing around with my son, so I didn't get a chance to get ahead of the lines like I typically do. I knew it was a ton of games today. Last Sunday, if you guys remember, I got smoked last Sunday, so I knew I wasn't going to go super crazy today, but there's a couple things that I kind of added to. I kind of played already based on just some handicapping that I had done earlier this morning. So feel underprepared for the show, but it is what it is, man. We'll talk the games out. I'm not going through every single one of them, but in the comment section, y'all let me know what games y'all want me to talk about. I always go in order unless it's something that really stands out to me. So we'll go first 4 games for sure, and then Cleveland, Miami, on to Portland and Lakers. I have nothing on, but we can talk about them. So let me know which ones you guys are gonna go through. I'm not going through every single one of them, maybe 3 or 4 of them, because I think it's 12 games today. So let's jump into it. Yesterday, I gave out one official play. It was Memphis. Memphis plus the 6.5. They went into Boston, won the game outright. Shout out to the Grizzlies for taking care of us yesterday. That was a nice winner. I needed that. As far as the other things that we talked about on the show, there's a lot of ways to get paid yesterday, and I talked about a lot of them. I think the short list was 4-1 yesterday. So if you tailed any of them, you probably made some money, man. So let's see if we can replicate that today. That list was what? I think the only thing that didn't cash was Pelicans team total under, but everything else we talked about was a winner yesterday. And if you played the Thunder, you definitely won. Pelicans don't look like a real NBA team right now until late in the second half, but it is what it is. Let's jump into the recap. I can't even remember what else was on the short list. It was a lot of winners though. What up to my guy Mark, always tapping in with me. Says let's have a great Sunday. GLB bets as well. He's in the car right now, but let's get some cash in the car. Appreciate you, GLB bets. Joe, my guy in here with us. Hot TV Grits. What up, Justin? Warriors and Rockets, Maurice says. What up, JM? He says top of the morning game, Clippers plus the 3. We will potentially talk about that. Maurice says, my guy got on a green beanie, a Grinch beanie, coming to steal Christmas, Chris. I'm coming to steal the money from the bookies. I need all of it. I don't even want to steal it. I want to do it legally, but I need it all. What up, Betty John? Racist was good, Chris. Hope you in the chat are doing well. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man. I won't complain. What up, Dropping Dimes? Preston says, how do members get access to the Discord? So, Preston, all you got to do is email me at ChrisBeCappinn 2 P's 2 N's, or you can shoot me a message over on X or Twitter, and I can send you the link to the Discord. So, if people who watch the show, typically want access to the Discord, not everybody, but people who do, I send the link to them. So yeah, just send me a message. You already a member? I'll definitely send you the link. Appreciate you for supporting the channel as well. What up, Sean? Says top of the top. Denver cooked my books last night. Yeah. Brian says Clippers plus 3 only play for him right now. All right. Cool. Let's see. Joe says if you can talk about Bucks and Nets. Yeah. So I sent out the play. I'm definitely going through that game because I did play that game. Low CLV even from this morning. We'll see how it goes though. So we'll get to that game. JM says Memphis, Boston suspect. My Nuggets threw my parlay yesterday. Should have just took in Jokic points, rebounds, and assists. I agree with that. On the Bulls, the Cavs, the Bucks today, G says. Okay. What up to my guy, Sai? What up, bro? Hope all is well with you. Jacques says, what's up? All right, let's jump into it for today. Maurice says he got a plus 10.5 with the Blazers last night. Had to be last night. That number's gone. Oh, here's what we talked about. Ingram under his 19.5 points cash easily, even though he did get hurt earlier. He won't go get to 20 anyway, but yeah, that was something I probably should have put a little bit of money on. Let's jump into it for today, man. We'll start with jaXon as we always do. So I'm talking to, I'm chatting it up with jaXon this morning. I asked jaXon about, what did I ask jaXon about? I asked jaXon about something. Let me see. Oh, I know what it was. It was Chicago and Philly because it's always do the first game. jaXon says the Bulls are 12-12 against the spread this season, 3-2 against the spread in their last 5 games. However, they're just 3-8 straight up at home, which raises concern about their ability to be able to cover even the slight favorites when they were favorites, because I think when they were slight favorites. The 76ers are 8-13 against the spread this season, 4-7 on the road. They have struggled offensively, ranking 29th in points scored per game at only 105 per game. 76ers have dominated the matchup historically, covering the spread in 13 of the last 18 games, going 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 at the United Center. However, Joel Embiid, a key player in those matchups, has not played since November the 22nd, is listed as questionable for this game. The Bulls have a significant edge offensively, ranking 7th in offensive efficiency and 11th in averaging 120 points per game. However, their defense is a major liability, ranking 28th in defensive rating and allowing 123.6 points per game. The Sixers, despite their offensive struggles, have a solid defense, ranking 8th in points allowed at 110.6. Blah. All right, anyway, given the tight spread and the historical dominance of the 76ers in this matchup, I lean towards Philadelphia plus the 1.5 at plus 100 on BetMGM. The 76ers defense and their ability to cover against the Bulls in recent years make them a solid pick, especially as slight underdogs. However, if Embiid is confirmed out, this could shift the advantage to the Bulls, so keep an eye on the injury update. So jaXon likes the 76ers in this spot with Embiid. I think the 76ers are probably better without Joel Embiid. Him coming back will probably throw off the chemistry, but that's what you can get with jaXon. It's a ton of things you can get with jaXon, but I see people continuing to try it out. Can't forget my man's name. He did say that jaXon was messing up for him, so I told him to shoot me an email and let me know when he was available so I could walk him through the prompts and different things that you could type in. But check jaXon out, man. I know a lot of people are. There is a coupon code for 50% off in the description of the video if you guys are interested in checking out jaXon. All right, so let's get into that first game on the board for today. We got the 76ers. They will be in Chicago. This line is kind of all over the place. I guess consensus right now is the +1 for Chicago. Total open 220. Let me see what I wrote in my notes last night. Total open 228.5. It's up to 236 now. So this number is still on the rise. I see 236.5 out there as well. This is a matinee start time. Game starts at 1:10 Eastern. So you got an early game. Remember I told you guys early games typically go under, but you got to look deeper into the matchup. So Philly, they don't look now, but they've won 3 of their last 4 games. They've covered 4 straight. Defensively, they've been really, really good, which we'll talk about in just a second. And they don't have a game. A lot of these teams don't play a lot until the end of the week because of the cup play. So real quick, let me get PZ comment off the screen. So they don't play again until the 13th. This is the 4th game in 6 nights for for the Philadelphia 76ers. Not the greatest spot when you think about 4th game in 6 nights. On the Chicago side, 3rd game in 4 nights for them. They're 4-1 to the over in their last 5 games. And they also don't play until the 13th. Bulls are 8-5 straight up and 9-4 against the spread when they're coming off a loss this season. So for whatever reason, they like to bounce back. And they did lose against the Indiana Pacers the other night. They have actually covered 5 straight games after a loss this season, but they still give up 122 points per game in that spot. So injury report, I saw LaMelo Ball listed as probable. I saw Joel Embiid listed as questionable, as jaXon already said. And I want to say those were the only injuries. Yeah, Kobe White is questionable. He's probable. I think he's going to play. And then Vooch is also probable. I think he's going to play. He got some back stuff going on. Bona is still out for the Philadelphia 76ers. So I think Embiid in, Embiid out, because I thought about this game for a while. Embiid in, Embiid out, I don't really think it matters. I just think that Philly's going to be able to score the basketball here. I was going through looking at, some of the quotes. I found one from Paul George where he says, there's just a flow now. There's a flow that we can get to our plays, we can get to our spots, and everybody knows where they're at on the floor. So I think we just got to get through. I think we just had to get through a lot of games. This is a new group to start out. We just had to get some games under our belts, kind of iron out the wrinkles. Now we kind of know who we are. And I kind of agree with this, man. Philly lost me some money at the beginning of the season. I do feel like they can win this game. Don't really like that it's 4th game in 6 nights, but they got to start stacking up some wins if they're going to turn the season around. They're 6-15 right now. It's not going to get the job done. So then I took a deeper dive into the game. Philly, you look at them offensively. Look at them defensively, like I talked about. The 6th best defensive rated team over the last 5 games, 5th in opponent effective field goal percentage. They forced the 3rd most turnovers. They need to start stacking wins, like I said, with or without Embiid. I don't think that really matters at this point. Feels like they put that behind them. Chicago, what do? They play super fast. They shoot a ton of threes. Philly is top 10 in three-point defense over the last 5 games. Philly's offense is the 4th worst on the full season, but they've made some strides, kind of like what Paul George was saying. Last 5 games, they're 12th in points scored per 100 possessions. The story of the game may be if Philly can be able to knock down some threes. They're bottom 5 in shooting the 3-point shot on the season, but last 5 games, they're 13th. And that's important because Chicago is a bottom 3 team in defending the 3-point line over the last 5 games. That's one of the things that Chicago does not do. They don't defend nothing really, but the 3-point line specifically. And I do feel like Philly should be able to score. I look at the Bulls. They've given up 132 points to the Pacers in their last game. They were on the second leg of a back-to-back. They gave up 124 to the Spurs. They gave up 138 to the Celtics, 133 to the Magic, 142 to the Grizzlies, et cetera, in their last handful of games. Philly hasn't scored 118 points, only one time this season. But their last 5 games have been against very slow-paced teams. They played Orlando twice. They played Charlotte. They played Detroit. They played Houston. They played the Clippers. All teams is not trying to get out and run. The Bulls played the second fastest pace over the last 5 games. Only team playing faster right now is the Memphis Grizzlies. So I did play team total up and over for the Philadelphia 76ers. The number was 117.5. I got a bad number because it's open 230. So probably could have got a 115.5, but I probably still play it right now. And this total is still going up. I see it all the way up to 237 on FanDuel right now. And I handicapped the game about 2 hours ago. So I got a late number. The number is still moving in my direction. So I guess a low CLV. Let's see what the live line is. And then I'll go through a couple of the comments real quick. Should be a ton of, player props that can cash in this spot as well. I didn't really think about the game from a player prop perspective, but pretty sure you guys got some thoughts. So I'll go through the comment section in a second and we'll move on to the next game. My eye screen is moving super slow today. Not sure why. Let's see. I see 118.5 right now. It looks like open 113.5. We could have got 113.5 points, and that definitely would have been the move, in my opinion, with the Philadelphia team total. I think that they're going to be able to score the basketball in this spot. I do think that they will be able to score. 118.5. I think they can get to 120. I really, really do. But I sent out 117.5 to the members this morning after handicapping the game. Let's see what you guys are thinking. I'll try to be quick with the comments so we can keep it pushing. What up, Tariq? Aaron, matinees games typically go under, but I think this one goes over. I really, really do. Good morning, Kara. Hope all is well with you. Enjoy your Sunday. Hopefully it's beautiful. Let's see. Nobody talking about this game. Everybody somewhere else. I make the graphics so you guys know what I'm talking about. So you know what game I'm talking about. I like the 76ers, fam. Like we say, I think the Sixers can win the game too. I don't like that it's 4th game in 6 nights, which is what led me to their team. I think they can win the game. Eric says, my question would be, how they came up with the name. Not sure what he's talking about here. 60 spots, they rolling, Jay Fuller says. No way my Bulls lose to this team from Philly, Nardo says. Kyrie says under. Philly running hot. Can't blame Sixers backers here. I agree with that, 77 figures. Maurice says lean Sixers. You saved me money yesterday with that Wizards first half team total. I just stayed off. I'm glad you stayed off, Ray. Man, I try to help people out, man. We know that it's absolutely golden to play the Wizards first half team total under. Denver defense has been trash. It's been absolutely trash. Gave up 130 points. Jordan Poole hit 9 threes last night. We'll talk about that game in a second. Well, good morning, Killian. Appreciate you for tapping in. Maxey over his 5.5 assists. Academy record says, I can see this. I'm actually going to write Maxey assists down. I'm probably not going to get there, but maybe I'll do like a little fun Sunday parlay, put a couple bucks on a parlay. This makes a lot of sense. I haven't even looked into it. I don't really want to on the show because I don't want to hold the show up. But I could see this Academy records. This seems like it makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Damn, I want to look at it real quick. Let's see. OKC margin 1-10. You talked about it yesterday, and I wrote it down. I like the way you think, Academy Records. That was a great look yesterday. Great look. I wrote it down. I didn't play it, but I did write it down. Looked like they was gonna win by 11-20, but Phoenix, New Orleans did come back in that game. I like this Maxey over his assist prop though. This seems like it makes a ton of sense. The Bulls, pretty sure they give up a ton of assists. Maxey is actually under his 5.5 assists in. Hold on, under. He's actually over his 5.5 assists in 4 of his last 5 games. I feel like something bit me. So yeah, this makes it. I think this makes a ton of sense here. Over 5.5 assists, 5 assists in 4 of his last 5 games. You got a fast-paced team coming in. He went under against Orlando. In the last game, he only had 2, but we know Orlando plays super slow. He's had 12, 13, and 13 assists in his last 3 games before that. Potential assists in his last 3 games before that. He's playing 34 minutes a game. I like this a lot. I like that. I added that. G says he likes the Bulls. Got the Bulls -1.5. I personally see the line flipping. I always fade the flip. Okay. What up, Jalen? Mark says, I'm looking for the best number, 118.5. So real quick, Mark, if you got FanDuel, which you in Texas, I don't know what Texas got going on down there, but it's still a couple 117s available. I think I sent out. What did I send out? I think I sent out 117, or did I send out 116? Some 117s are available. 117 is available on DraftKings right now. Got the best number, -112. For people that are interested in that Bulls, in Philly. I'm sorry, wrong team. Philly team total has moved. It's 118.5. So I got 117. It's 118.5 right now. Let's see. Justin says he tell that team total over. Hopefully we can get there. Ted likes Paul George to go over his assist prop instead. Scott says he took Denver. We ain't talking about that game. Y'all gotta stay. Let's just stay together, man. Let's stay together. All right. Enough of this game. Let's move over to the next one. We got the Bucks. They will be in Brooklyn today. This line opened with the Bucks laying 7.5 points. This line is currently This line is currently 6. So yeah, I'm just checking, make sure I got it right. Total open 221 is what I wrote in my note. I wrote 221.5 in my notes yesterday. It's down to 218.5. And we got a Bucks team that's also playing their 4th game in 6 nights. In-season revenge. They lost to the Brooklyn Nets. We'll talk about that a little bit more. They lost early in the season. And they got back-to-back losses, have the Brooklyn Nets. After beating the Detroit Pistons in the Cup game, they lost to Atlanta, and then they went to Boston, also lost that game. They did cover against Boston. Real big look-ahead spot for the Bucks here, because the next time that they play will be Orlando in the Cup. And I'm kicking myself because Franz got hurt, and towards oblique, he's going to be out. That line moved from 5 to 8.5 in favor of the Bucks in the game that they play on Tuesday in the Cup game. So I'm not sure how much the Bucks look ahead, but they do have the potential look ahead spot. Remember yesterday I said the Pelicans, I said OKC don't strike me as a team that looks ahead, and they absolutely didn't. They absolutely smoked the New Orleans Pelicans from start to finish pretty much in that game. But the Bucks do have a look ahead spot. For Brooklyn, well-rested team, 3 days rest. They don't play again until the 13th. Second straight home game for them, so they haven't had to travel much. Dorian Finney-Smith is off the injury report. Clowney is listed as questionable, and Zaire Williams is listed as out. On the Milwaukee side, Chris Middleton did make his return in the last game. I think he's going to be active again today. We'll see how that goes. But I'm of the mindset that I think he does play. And Giannis is listed as probable, and that's pretty much it. So in this game, I play under. I look at Brooklyn. They beat the Bucks outright last time that they played. They were getting 8.5 points as dogs back on October the 27th, first week of the season. They won that game 115-102. And of course, Cam Thomas was available in that game. That game went under 228 as well. When I went through the X's and the O's, the things that stood out to me was I look at the Bucks. They are a top 10 offensive rated team. They don't turn the ball over, which is important because Brooklyn is top 5 in turning opponents over in their last 5 games. But Dame does a pretty good job of taking care of the basketball most of the time. Milwaukee gets to the free throw line at the top 5 rate last 5 games. Brooklyn sending teams to the free throw line at a top 5 rate over the last 5 games. So they've been fouling a lot. Milwaukee shooting 44% from the 3, which is second in the NBA. But Brooklyn, top 10 defense in defending the 3-point line over the last 5 games. One of Brooklyn's weak points is the transition defense. Their bottom 5 teams typically get out and run whenever they play against the Brooklyn Nets. However, Milwaukee doesn't push the pace. I talked about this when I said I like the under between them and Boston the other day, and we cashed that. Milwaukee doesn't push the pace. They're actually bottom 3 last 5 games in transition frequency. Brooklyn's offense is the worst in the league last 5 games. They're scoring just 99 points per 100 possessions. They turn the ball over frequently. But again, Milwaukee doesn't force a lot of turnovers. So I don't see a lot of transition buckets here. I see a very slow-paced, methodical type game where Milwaukee's been playing a little bit better defensively. The Brooklyn Nets already can't score the basketball. So I do think, especially with the in-season revenge, I know they got the cup game coming up, but I took the under in this spot. Mad I didn't get a 221.5, but I think I sent it out at 219.5, and it's continuing to drop. It's down to 218 right now. Don't know if I still play the 218, losing a 1.5 of value, but I do like the under in this spot. Both teams, bottom half of the league in pace last 5 games. Like I said, Brooklyn, the worst offensive rated team at home, rested. Yeah, I like under in this spot. Played it at 219.5, sent it out on ESPN Bet. Didn't even really look too much didn't look at any player props here. Let's see what you guys are thinking, and then we'll move over to the next one. Like the Bucks today, Tariq says, Bucks look ahead spot. Absolutely is Academy Records. I mean, we remember when they played on Friday, we were thinking to ourselves like, man, the Pistons, like, they're gonna get up for this game. Like they really want to win cup games. Nobody thought, the Bucks want to get up and win cup games too. Man, they came in and blew the doors off the Detroit Pistons. So it could be a potential look ahead spot. I'm not on Brooklyn. I mean, I'm not on Boston today. I'm sorry, I'm not on Milwaukee today. I couldn't quite get there with them laying such a big number, but it wouldn't surprise me if they won and covered. Bucks first half, Brandon says, I don't know. Joe says Nets struggling without Thomas. Bucks have revenge. Also, teams this year are 12-4-1 against the spread after losing to Boston. Only looking at Milwaukee here. What up to my guy Chad in the chat? So Joe does like Milwaukee. Okay. What up, Charles? Says he's just tapping in. He says Bucks got a cup game, so I may lean towards the Nets. Chad says hope all is well, Chris. Let's get it. 76ers money line. He likes the Nets +7. Okay. Yeah, I could see the Nets keeping this game close, Chad. I absolutely could. I just worry about how Brooklyn's going to score the basketball. Real quick, if I go back through it, and their defense has been good, right? Like, they play hard for Coach Fernandez. That could be, one of the reasons that keeps it close. But when I was looking at this earlier this morning, I was looking at what did I say? I said Brooklyn, how Brooklyn was going to be able to score the basketball. So let me change this real quick. So when I look at Brooklyn last 5 games, they're actually attacking the rim, getting to the rim. They're actually 3rd in rim frequency. 3-point shots not really falling. They're 19th, and that's important because that's where they've had some regression. Brooklyn was a really good 3-point shooting team. Matter of fact, on the full season, they actually still 6th best 3-point shooting team, and they shoot the 5th most threes. Last 5 games, that's actually fallen down a lot. They're actually 19th in 3-point frequency, so they haven't shot as many threes. They're shooting a lot more shots at the rim. And if they're going to shoot threes, if they're not going to shoot threes, I think Milwaukee can protect the rim. But I also think that Milwaukee's 3-point defense, like I said in that Boston game, has been a lot better recently. Top 5 in 3-point defense. So that's why I like the under a little bit more. But I couldn't talk you off. For taking the points here. I do like the Sixers a lot today. I took their team total over the money line, but I do think it's a Sixers spot for sure. Just worry a little bit about Embiid throwing off the chemistry. I think if Embiid comes back to help the offense, either way, with Embiid listed questionable, the reason I played the team total over for Philly is because I think if Embiid plays or he doesn't play, Philly's going to be able to score against Chicago. If Embiid comes back, he's going to slow the pace down, probably going to be out of shape, the man in the basketball. Embiid should just retire, in my opinion. I don't think messing with Embiid. I don't want to play if Embiid playing for real, but I do think they should be able to score. First time catching the live show. Keep balling, Chris. Appreciate this, MM. Chad says every game we should worry how the Nets gonna score, but they continue to keep it close no matter who is out there, especially at home. And I would agree with that. Real quick to put some numbers to what Chad is talking about. and having 3 days rest. Yeah, potential look ahead spot. I like it, Chad. Real quick to put some numbers to what Chad's talking about. The Nets so far this season as a home dog are internet acting like I got dial-up. Come on, bro. 3-4 straight up. So they win some of these games outright. 4-3 against the number, covering 58% or 57% of the time. They did get a cover against the Pacers in the spot after failing to cover 3 straight against the Celtics, the Magic, and the Magic. Numbers come down. You got a little CLV. Murray says he's staying away. He says he thinks the Nets can cover. Sharp money coming in. David says, Chris, I just want to tell you I love you and everything that you do for us, brother. I feel as though you don't hear it enough. I don't hear it enough, David, but it's cool. Like I said yesterday, I do it for the cause, not for the applause. I don't care if nobody in here. I'm still going to be talking the games out with myself. But I do appreciate these comments, David. Appreciate you for sure, bro. I know you've been rocking with me for a minute. DJ Prop says, if Embiid heard you say he needs to retire, he might swing on you, bro. He missed because he's slow. He can't, bro. You know how fast I am? I'm duck and dodge him so quick. Embiid don't want the smoke, man. Let's see. Let's go over to the next game. One of those games that I did handicap as well. We got the Charlotte Hornets and the Indiana Pacers. Pacers laying 11. I think this was the number the last time I checked. I wrote in my notes 11 last night as well. Yes, 11. 11 and a half out there. Total has come down. This opened 224 and a half when I wrote it in my notes yesterday. It's down to 221. 221 and a half. It looks like it's the consensus. So we got a Charlotte team, second leg of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights for Charlotte. They have 8 straight. They've lost 8 straight in 9 of their last 10 games. Has the Charlotte Hornets. 3 straight non-covers as well against the Philadelphia 76ers, against the New York Knicks in the Garden. And then, of course, they didn't cover yesterday against Cleveland as well. So terrible travel spot for Charlotte here. Can you lay double digits with the Pacers, though? Not with my money. I still can't do it. It's a great spot to back the Pacers. This team is coming off 1 day's rest. They finally go have a rest advantage. They finally got off the losing snide, beat Chicago the other day, but they only won 8-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. First game back home after a 4-game road trip for them as well. And they also have a large amount of rest. Both of these teams have a large amount of rest after this game. So injury report, you got Nembhard. I did see him listed as questionable. I think he's going to play in this game, even though I saw 2 injuries for Nembhard. Knee and wrist is what I saw. Yeah, that left wrist sprain is not good. Not good for them being able to get stops. So I was thinking that Nembhard being back helps the offense. I thought it helped the defense a little bit as well, but it actually helps the defense a lot more. The Pacers are giving up 6 more points per 100 possessions without Nembhard on the floor. So their defense, I think it was giving up like 120 points per 100 possessions without Nembhard on the floor. With him, they're only giving up like 114. But the offense stays the same though, which was interesting to me. I thought him being back would help the offense. I could just be like, overanalyzing it. Charlotte has played the Pacers really well. They've won 6 of the last 10 head-to-head matchup, back-to-back games. They've won against the Indiana Pacers last season. This is the first time that they'll play this season. Of course, those teams probably had LaMelo. I didn't even go back and look at it. I will tell you guys this. When I was matching these 2 teams up, Indiana offensively, they haven't been great recently. 25th in points scored per 100 possessions over their last 5 games. However, like I said, with Nembhard on the floor, the offense has been, I thought it had been a little bit better, but like I said, it really hasn't. On the other hand, you got a Charlotte team that's the 3rd worst defense over the last 5 games. They're putting teams at the free throw line at the top 5 rate, can't stop fouling. They also playing on the second leg of a back-to-back, 3rd game in 4 nights with travel from Charlotte. Charlotte's best attribute on offense has been their offensive rebound percentage. Remember, I've been talking about this for a while. They're actually 6th over the last 5 games in offensive rebound percentage. But you look at the Pacers, while they have been absolutely trashed, the one thing that the Pacers have been doing a really good job of is they have been doing a really good job of limiting offensive rebounds. So that takes away the strength for the Charlotte Hornets, in my opinion, of their offense. To put some numbers to that, the Charlotte Hornets are giving up, the Indiana Pacers are limiting teams to the 4th fewest offensive rebounds. So if the Pacers want to go into this nice little, almost like bye week or bye half a week of little vacation or whatever you want to call it. They want to go into this, feeling good about themselves, and they want to come out here and play hard with a lot of energy and effort and do the thing that they can do really, really well, which is limit offensive rebounds. They can name the number in this game, in my opinion. I know Charlotte has been feisty on the road. I'm sorry, not on the road. I know Charlotte has been feisty in general with LaMelo Ball. They kept the game close against Cleveland yesterday, but this is not a good spot to back the Charlotte Hornets, in my opinion. And do I want to lay points with the Pacers? Absolutely not. I'm not doing. Hell no, I'm not doing that. But this game is a little conflicting, in my opinion, because of that. The question is going to be, in my opinion, can Indiana defend the three-point line? Charlotte is. We talked about this yesterday. I talked about liking Josh Green over his 1.5 threes at plus money. He hit 2 in the first 4 minutes of the game. Brandon Miller struggled from the three-point line, but that's the deficiency for the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's also been the deficiency for the Indiana Pacers. Charlotte is shooting the 5th most threes over the last 5 games. Charles Lee, go out there and check it up as many times as you guys can. Indiana's three-point defense has been bottom 10 in the last 5 games. So if Brandon Miller plays, that could potentially help a lot. I am seeing Miles Bridges could potentially return. It looks like I see him as game time decision. I didn't see that he was going to be ruled in, but this is one of the later games. This is a team playing on the second leg of back-to-back, so they can submit their injury report later in the day. Bridges looks like he's been upgraded to game time decision, at least is what I'm seeing. Nick Richards played yesterday. Mark Williams played yesterday. He only played about 8 minutes in the first half. He didn't touch the floor in the second half. I was watching that game. Interested to see if they try to give him a few minutes in this game, because without him, if Nick Richards is ruled out, it could be really, really bad. The Pacers can name their number in this game. I think that they can score. So I do kind of expect Charlotte to play really slow. They are the slowest paced team over the last 5 games as far as transition frequency. Probably want to slow this game down against the Pacers. If the Pacers dictate pace, they're going to get up and down the floor. The Pacers are 1-5 straight up and against the spread when they are at the rest disadvantage this season. But with the rest advantage, the Pacers are actually 2-1 straight up and against the spread. And surprisingly enough, this will be the first game for the Pacers with the rest advantage when they're playing at Gainbridge for Fieldhouse. So they have not had the rest advantage at home so far this season. We know that they've been played a lot better at the crib than they played on the road. Should be a Pacers spot. Can't get there with laying this many points though. Not a touchdown and a field goal with the Pacers. Not with my money. And yeah, no way. No way possible. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. I don't know what I said, Tasha, but I'm glad you think I'm funny. What's up, Money Lion? Chad says, give him the Hornets. Oh, well, he didn't play. He says, Hornets 11.5 and nothing. Pacers are dead to me. Dropping down says he did move on that Pacers team total minus 115 and over 115.5. Minus 120 on Bet365. Justin says, if Chris can't slip a Embiid punch, I must subscribe. Yeah, he ain't fast enough, bro. His cardio not good enough. His diet not good enough. None of that. None of that. Let's see what y'all saying here. David says, I'm throwing in the towel in the NBA, but that $5.99 still cheaper than Starbucks. Pay this man. Appreciate you, David. Pacers team total over from Merrill. Professor says Halliburton 20 assists. Dub only good at home. So my numbers don't have an assist specifically, but I know Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell was killing last night as far as assists goes. Pacers are Pacers are actually 23rd in assist percentage over their last 5 games. They haven't really been getting a bunch of assists. But if we look at just real quick, let's look at how many assists. Interested to see what his number is. How many assists have the Charlotte Hornets allowed? No team allowing more assists than the Lakers right now. Spurs are second. The Pacers are actually allowing the 3rd most assists. The Charlotte Hornets defense is not allowing a lot of assists. They're actually middle of the pack, allowing about 26 per game. So they're 15th. Just some numbers to go with that. Their defense should fall off in this spot again, in my opinion, though. Merrill likes Halliburton over his 8.5 assists. If it's 8.5, I like it as well. I'm going to add that with Maxey. Maybe that'll be a part of my little same game parlay I put together later, a little multiple assist prop or something, whatever you guys call it. I'm not a parlay guy. Over 8.5 assists for Holly. Yeah, it makes a ton of sense in this spot. Aces team total over. I like it at 116.5. Academy. I just didn't get there though. Mark says, I just heard Chris going to retire and beat. I'll take that action. Gary says, I like the Pacers to win both halves. Yeah, I could see Pacers winning both halves at plus 110 on DK. This is actually another, I think, solid bet. All right, I'm writing this one down too. Indy first half full game. Nice little parlay piece. Chad says Nembhard and Neesmith are a lot more critical to the perimeter than we thought that they were. And I agree. Always bad on defense now. They literally have zero personnel. Who even wants to stay in front of anyone? And I agree with that. LaMelo will shake off the rust by getting up 40 field goals in his first game back. I agree with that. Charlotte got a bunch of guys playing that are getting their first minutes in the league. Yeah, it was Champagny. Yes, no, Champagny was for Washington. It was another person I had never heard of yesterday that absolutely hooped yesterday. Chances Brendan Miller over his points. It's been a wagon without Ball and Bridges. I mean, he got the best defensive, like one of the better defenses he's gonna get in this spot. So I couldn't talk anybody off a little Brandon Miller love today, especially after he didn't play well in that first half yesterday. He should absolutely go up and over. Tons of shots gonna be there. His 3-point prop, probably 3.5, 4.5. I couldn't talk anybody off of that. I will look a little bit deeper into that. Shout out to Chad for throwing this in the chat. Let's see. Why the Cavs -3? We're gonna get to it in a second. Pacers just got outright to the Nets, Raptors, and Pistons. Now you're supposed to lay double digits. No. I agree with that. Let's see. What up? Can't stop. Wong, that's who it was for Charlotte. Appreciate you for shouting that out, Robert. You must live down there. I know people ain't watching Charlotte Hornets play basketball. But yeah, it was Wong yesterday. Wong was hooping in the third. I think it was the third quarter specifically. He came in when Brandon Miller got into some foul trouble. I actually thought Cleveland was going to blow him out when Brandon Miller got in foul trouble in the third. Wong said, hold on, not so fast. All right, let's keep it moving. Next game we got up, Denver Nuggets and the Atlanta Hawks. This line was at 4 yesterday. Total was at 241. Total has not really moved a lot. I guess it has gone up a little bit, 241.5. Some 242s out there as well. Spread has come down to 3, and I see 2.5 at -115 on Bet365 right on BetMGM right now. This was the last game that I handicapped. So you got a Denver team on the second leg of a back-to-back. Third game in 4 nights. They've been traveling all over the place. Four of their last 5 games have actually been on the road. Coming off the most embarrassing loss, not just of the season, probably of the last couple years, honestly. You lose outright to the Washington Wizards. And this is what happened when you just overlook teams and you're poor defensively. I didn't put any of my money on the Wizards yesterday or any on the Denver Nuggets either. But it was because of how bad they have been defensively. Remember, we talked about it. We talked about avoiding, don't fall for the trap with the Washington Wizards, with the Denver Nuggets yesterday. So they've lost back-to-back games now. 4 straight non-covers are for the Denver Nuggets. Back-to-back losses to Cleveland and Washington. You got an Atlanta team, so you go into the game, you're like, oh, let's give Jamal Murray the night off. We got a game against Atlanta tomorrow. Let's give Aaron Gordon the night off. We got a game against Atlanta tomorrow. And you lose the game outright. That's exactly what the Denver Nuggets did. On the opposite side for Atlanta, coming off 1 day's rest, overtime win against my LA Lakers. They've won 6 straight games. Atlanta they do have a cup game against the New York Knicks on deck. So potential look ahead spot for them as well. We always got to talk about the look ahead spots. Even with them winning recently, the Atlanta Hawks are still just 2-6 against the spread as a home favorite this season. They win by average of 1 point per game, 122 to 121. Injury report in this game, you're going to have to wait on the Denver Nuggets side to see if Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon are going to return. I don't know. Like, you don't get real good Denver media coverage from the beat writers, at least the guys that I follow, when they're not in Denver for whatever reason. I love to see, Mike Malone fired up after his team is just wet the bed, but I couldn't really find a lot. I did find a quote, but I didn't find a whole lot. I like to look at the whole interview. So you got to wait to see if those guys are going to play or not. We know Jokic scored 3,000 points against the Wizards yesterday. And he actually called the team out as well. I don't have the quote right in front of me, but he said something along the lines of like, when I'm in my country, like, or in my country, like if you play like this, you got to give a little bit of your paycheck back. You don't get as much in the next paycheck. He's like, maybe that's what we need to start doing. You could tell he kind of fed up with the Nuggets. I mean, they suck. Like they played some offense at times, but defensively they're absolutely atrocious. They can't stop anybody. I don't even know if y'all noticed it, but I just noticed it. I didn't spell Hawks right, and that is gonna kill me if I continue to have to look at it. This W supposed to go before the K. All right. Anyway, so Jokic was fired up after the game. Does it really mean anything in this spot? I don't know, man. I think the Nuggets could win this one outright. They've won 7 of the last 10, 3 straight in the head-to-head matchup. They've covered all 3 of the last 3, including both games last season. You look at Atlanta, they are top 10 offense over the last 5 games. Denver, of course, is the bottom 10 defense. The problem here is the matchup doesn't bode as well for Atlanta, in my opinion. So you got Jalen Johnson, who I forgot to even mention. He is listed as questionable. That is not what you want to see if you're the Atlanta Hawks. You do not. If you like Atlanta in this spot, you want Jalen Johnson in. We know Jalen Johnson means a ton. Probably the most improved player in the NBA, and I won't get into all the numbers, but Jalen Johnson means an absolute lot to this team and to this spread. And I think that's why the money's coming in on Denver. I mean, I know public guys aren't saying the Nuggets are going to bounce back against Atlanta on the second leg of a back-to-back. This is sharp money coming in, pushing this down from 4 down to 2.5. I just can't quite get there because I need to see what happens with the injury report. But I'll tell you guys this. When I was looking into the matchup, it's not the greatest matchup for Atlanta. Real quick, let me just put some numbers to the Jalen Johnson thing real quick, because I didn't get a chance to do this. I wanted to. With Jalen Johnson on the floor, they're plus 2.6 in points scored per 100. They're outscoring their opponents by 2.5 points per 100 possessions, scoring 115, giving up 112. With Jalen Johnson off the floor, they are, getting outscored by 10 points per 100 possessions, only scoring 109 points and giving up 119. I want no parts of Atlanta without Jalen Johnson. But then when I'm looking into the matchup, here's what I saw. Atlanta hasn't shot the three-point ball well, even though they have been winning. They've had a lot of recent success. No three-point shooting, though. They've been attacking the rim. Crazy enough, Denver, the only place Denver has been playing defense is at the rim. They're actually top 5 in the opponent rim. Opponent rim, I think it's frequency. I need to look back into that. I think I wrote down frequency in my notes, but it might be accuracy too. Let me just double check that real quick, because I think Denver. Yeah, so they're top 10 in both. Top 10 in opponent rim frequency, top 5 in opponent rim accuracy over the last 5 games. Remember, they didn't lose the game last night because Washington was getting to the cup. They lost the game because Jordan Poole hit 9 threes and they couldn't get a stop. If Atlanta's not hitting their threes, which, like I said, they haven't been good from the 3-point line as of late, that opens up things for Denver to be able to keep this game close. Atlanta is also 3rd in transition frequency, but Denver's also done a really good job at getting back in transition. At top 10. Denver's defense has been bad against the 3, but like I said, Atlanta isn't really shooting the 3-point ball well right now. And then you got the Hawks 7-1 to the over as a home favorite this season. When they play at home and they're favorite and they're laying points, they don't play a lot of defense. Denver doesn't know how to get a stop, right? To save their lives, clearly, when you give up that many points to the Washington Wizards. So initially I was thinking, why not just play the over at 241? I think the total might be a tad bit too high though. The Hawks can score and they don't really get a lot of stops. Is 241 too high is the question I posed to you guys. I'm not sure. I wrote this down because this is what Mike Malone said. This was the quote, and then I'll kind of I'll go through a couple of the comments real quick. So after a 5-game losing streak in early November, the Nuggets are now have gone 4-7. Malone said the problems are on defense. Quote, "We have a lot of issues, mainly on the defensive end of the floor. We play a team on Sunday," talking about the Atlanta Hawks, "that's won 6 in a row. That's one thing about the NBA. No one feels sorry for you. We have to all realize that we all have to start participating in our own recovery. No one is going to give you an olive branch," end quote. So I kind of feel like if Murray and Gordon come back into this game, they get ruled in. Jalen Green if Jalen Johnson gets ruled out, this could be the bounce back spot for Denver, in my opinion. I think I would be taking them with the points. Nobody's gonna like it, but Atlanta, like I said, haven't covered as a home favorite. They're 1-6, I want to say it was, against the number as a home favorite. So 2-6 against the spread as a home favorite. And I can see Denver really coming out with something after getting smoked in Washington last night. I know it's the second leg of a back-to-back. I know they probably got to the hotel super late, but I think I'm only looking towards Denver, especially without Jalen Johnson in the big cup game on deck. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. We can get to this game dropping dimes. We'll get to this game in a second. Jokic triple-double if LeBron can do it. Or Hawks spot. If the Hawks are going to beat the Nuggets today, they're really rolling right now. That's true. Aaron says, who's going to slow down Jokic from the Hawks? I'm not sure. I would need to look into it. As far as a lot of the times when you score 56 points, Aaron, you don't score as many in the next game. I was actually reading something from the beat reporters. I'm glad you mentioned this, Aaron. I was reading something from the beat reporters where it said something along the lines of like this could be like one of those Jokic silence games. Because he's been having to do so much for the team and kind of like put the team on his back so frequently, like this could be one of the games where he just passes the ball. I think he took 20 shots in the third quarter of that game. I want to see if I can find a quote now that you said that. 0-shot protest games is what he said. Harrison Wynn, if most of you guys probably follow him if you know deep into the NBA, but he's one of the beat writers for the Denver Nuggets. He says, tonight felt like one of those Nikola Jokic 0-shot protest games from years ago, but the opposite. All Jokic did was shoot. Didn't think that he trusted his teammates like he usually does. And he was right. 20 shot attempts in the third quarter alone. He knew he had to do everything. So if he does the opposite in this game, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, yo, you go out there and try to score. How about you, Christian Braun? Russell Westbrook, can you make a shot? You look at Denver shooting a three-point shot. It's been really, really bad recently. One of the worst three-point shooting teams in the NBA. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. That kind of like just kind of make me think that if those guys get rolled in, they're gonna go super hard in this spot. Merrill likes Jalen Johnson, even if he has a shoulder injury, he don't care. Over his 23.5 points plus assists, he's gonna play it every time. I think. Likes DeAndre Hunter over, MPJ over. Jokic had 56 and they still lost to the Wizards. I repeat, 50 piece and a loss to the Wizards. Can't lay points with the Hawks. That's why I'm at with my race. The Hawks couldn't even cover against the Lakers the other day. That was a 7-game and 11 nights for the Lakers. The Hawks just want to win. They don't care about covering numbers. They just want to win and they're happy. My Hawks are going to lay down tonight. We focused on the Knicks, which I already bet my Hawks +8 for Tuesday. Another reason to like the Nuggets in this spot. Dyson Daniels under his 3.5 points and assists. Ain't no way that's right. No way that his points and assists is 3.5. That has to be backwards. Maybe you missed the number. 13.5? Something. If Murray plays, Dyson gonna smother him, Aaron says. Nuggets 115, Hawks 124 is the math. Moneyball says. Nuggets +128. Justin says he don't even want the points. He don't want the points. Appreciate this comment, Libra. What are you guys saying? Nuggets for sure winning. B Structure says, if no Jamal Russell points and assists or double-double, I think that's a really good look. Likewise, it's Hawks or nothing, but no way he bets it. Jokic under 31.5. Kurt says, no idea. Academy likes Nuggets on the spread. Can't bet it. Can't stop says, I like to bet Denver, but I'm having trust issues with Denver these days, and that makes a ton of sense. This Hawks team looking good. Trade Jalen Johnson, Hunter. Cool. Blocks and steals for Dyson Daniels. Okay, appreciate you for clarifying that, bro. All right. Those were the only games that I capped. The only 2 plays that I played, like I said, I sent them out to the members, were the Philadelphia team total over 117.5. Number has slightly moved, and I played the under between the Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks. Only 2 plays for me. And the reason why those are the only 2 plays, because those are the only 2 games these are only 4 games that I capped. I'm waiting on this one just to see what happens with the injury news. But I do want to take Denver. We know crazy things happen on Sunday in the NBA. So, like I said in the comment section, y'all let me know what game y'all want me to touch on, and I'll touch on it. I know, who was it? Dropping Dimes. I think Dropping Dimes says he wants to hear about. I don't think y'all said anything in the chat, honestly, which is fine with me. I got a lot of stuff to do today. Jump off here. It's cool with me. I'll go through a couple of them offline, but I think Dropping Dimes did say it was one that he wanted me to go through. Which one was it, Dropping Dimes? It was Cleveland and Miami, I think it was. I just want to make sure. I also wanted to go through Cleveland and Miami too. Let's see. I swear Dropping Down said he wanted me to go through Cleveland and Miami. I don't see it on here though. All right, cool. Let's just go through Cleveland and Miami anyway. Yeah, let's go through Cleveland and Miami. So Cleveland, Miami. I wrote down 3.5 yesterday. What is what the Miami Heat were getting. Total was at 225, and the total is now 224. So some money coming in on the under. You got both teams on the second leg of a back-to-back, of course. Let's see. All right, so Cleveland, second leg of a back-to-back. They have won 4 straight. They've covered all 4. They play the Wizards up next. Ooh, nice and scary spot for them. Back at home. 7-3 against the spread, 8-2 against the number. 7-3 straight up, 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games. Not a spot I want to bet against. I was already kind of leaning Cleveland, just like off the top of my head. I thought it was a pretty good spot for them. I know that the Heat are typically better as home dogs than home favorites. But I want to check out something real quick. Cleveland. I did see Darius Garland kind of roll his ankle a little bit in that game yesterday. I don't see him on the injury report, though. He did stay in the game. So I'm just kind of capping it off the top of my head. Isaac Okoro is listed as he may play in this game. He didn't play yesterday because of a knee injury in the Charlotte game. So really, short flight from Charlotte to Miami. The Cavs are 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread when they're playing on 0 days rest. So second leg of back-to-back has been pretty good for them. They lost. They covered every game. They won every game, but they didn't cover against the Nets. They were laying 12.5 in that spot. On the opposite side, the Heat on no rest are – let's get into the Heat side of things. All right, so Miami is – so this is 3rd and 4th for the Cleveland Cavaliers as well. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. It's also 4th and 6th for Cleveland. So not the greatest spot for Cleveland. Miami is excuse me. Miami is second leg of back-to-back. They do have more rest overall. They had 3 days of rest before playing, 2 days of rest before playing yesterday against Phoenix after beating the Lakers. 3rd straight home game for them. They also got another one coming up against Toronto. So 3rd game of a 4-game homestand. They won back-to-back against the Lakers and the Suns. They did cover that 5.5, won that game by 10 yesterday. Offensively, they looked a lot better last 2 games. They scored against the Lakers. They scored against the Suns, 134 and 121. The Heat on the second leg of back-to-back, 2-1 straight up, 1-2 against the spread. They are surprisingly 3-0 to the under on the second leg of back-to-back games. Those games are staying under by a large amount of points. So they played the Heat on the second leg of a back-to-back. That game stayed under by 17 points. They played the Hornets on the second leg of back-to-back. That game stayed under by 27 points. They played the Celtics on the second leg of a back-to-back. That game stayed under by 24 points. So games are staying under by an average of 22.7 points per game with the Heat playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. That is interesting. Okay, so that's noted. All right, neither team got to look ahead spot. Cleveland had to travel, 4th game in 6 nights. Let's match the teams up on the floor real quick. Cleveland. Miami. Let's see if Cleveland should be able to score the basketball in Miami. Cleveland is the third best offense over the full season. Last 5 games, offense is taking a step back a little bit. They're 14th in points scored per 100 possessions, 8th in effective field goal percentage. They don't turn the ball over a lot, which is important because Miami is top 10 in forcing turnovers. Cleveland is top 10 in protecting the basketball. Cleveland doesn't get a ton of offensive. I meant to mention this in the Discord yesterday. It's always interesting to me, not to get too far off track, but Cleveland has Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, and they don't get a ton of offensive rebounds. Like, they're actually bottom 5 in offensive rebound rate, but I feel like they don't give up a ton of offensive rebounds, but it's interesting that they don't get rebounds. Maybe that's just their coach. Maybe that's Kenny Atkinson telling them just to get back so they don't give up a lot of transition points. But it's interesting to me. I was looking at that yesterday, how they don't get offensive rebounds. Anyway, Cleveland also not getting to the free throw line a ton, bottom 10 last 5 games. I'm looking at Miami. They give up a ton of offensive rebounds, but that's not a real strength of Cleveland. As far as shot zones for Cleveland, we know that they shoot a ton of threes. They also 10th in rim frequency, but not scoring a lot of points at the rim, not converting a lot. Only 58% of their shots are going in. That's bottom 4. As far as 3-point shots, they are 4th in frequency, 8th in accuracy last 5 games, which is really good. Top 10 in both, of course. The Heat's defense has been pretty solid. 13th, which is middle of the pack in 3-point defense last 5 games. They don't do a good job of protecting the rim, which is interesting because they got Bam Adebayo, but they actually bottom 6 in opponent rim frequency and rim accuracy. Also bottom 10 in opponent paint accuracy as well. Cleveland is 8th in half court offense. They're scoring 102.5 points per 100 possessions. Miami's defense is 16th in defense there. Cleveland not pushing the pace. They're 21st in transition frequency. Miami does a really good job. They're actually number 2 in limited transition frequency for their opponent. Number 6 in opponent points per transition. So Cleveland doesn't really like to get out. This is setting up for under, is what I'm seeing. So far, I like under. Let's flip it. Let's look at Miami specifically on offense. We also got to keep in mind that Miami numbers are going to be a little bit inflated last 5 games because they played the Lakers and scored 4,000 points. So you got to take that into consideration when looking at some of these numbers, because Miami offensively is the number 4 offense over the last 5 games. Miami's offense is not that good. I know that they had a really good game against Phoenix. This is not Phoenix, though, and this is not the Lakers either. So they are 4th in points allowed per 100 possessions. They're doing a really good job protecting the basketball, but the Lakers don't force turnovers. Phoenix don't force turnovers either, so that kind of helps in that aspect. Before they played those 2 teams, let's just look at this real quick. So before they played the Suns and the Lakers, they played the Celtics and got smoked. Lost that game by 19. They lost to the Raptors as well, and then they beat the Raptors. So those are the last 5 games for the Heat. Okay, I just wanted to see what they were playing. All right, so yeah, I think the Heat come back down to earth in this spot. So Cleveland, number 3 rated defensive team last 5 games, number 3 in opponent effective field goal percentage. I feel like the Cavs have been playing against some cupcakes as well, though. Let me just double check who they've been playing. The Cavs played Charlotte yesterday. They were at the crib before that. They did play Denver. Who did they play before they played Denver? Let me just double check. They played the Wizards. They played the Celtics, beat the Celtics. So they got a couple really good wins in here against they lost to the Hawks, beat the Celtics last Sunday, smoked the Wizards, beat the Nuggets, and then beat the Hornets. This is a pretty good. I like the Hornets. I mean, I like the Cavs. I think I like the Cavs here. Let's see. All right, so shot zones. Let's see. We got this is Miami's offense and Cleveland's defense. Miami's shooting a ton of threes. They've had a lot of success shooting a 3-point shot. A lot of that is Tyler Hero. They're actually shooting the 6th most threes over the last 5 games, shooting 38%, which is right outside the top 10. Number 1 in corner 3 frequency, 14th in corner 3 accuracy. Cleveland is 14th in opponent corner three frequency, 6th in opponent corner three accuracy. Miami not attacking the rim, bottom 10 in that shot zone. Cleveland not really doing a great job of protecting the paint, but they are doing a great job protecting the rim. Offensively, in the half court, Miami is 12th last 5 games. Cleveland is 6th in half court defense last 5 games. Miami is 11th in transition frequency, 8th in points scored per 100 possessions in transition. My fault for not finishing reading that. Cleveland defense has actually been terrible in transition, giving up a lot of points, and not a lot of points, but they're actually allowing teams to run pretty frequently. They're bottom 6th in transition, opponent transition frequency. 13 opponents are scoring. They're still top half of the league, I guess, in transition points allowed per 100 possessions. All in all, I like Miami. I like Cleveland. Let's see what the best number I can get. I know that this spread was pretty tight. And real quick, one more thing I wanted to look at. I just wanted to look at the Heat as home dogs this season. I feel like they've been getting smoked in this spot. I know we bet against them in the first game of the season against Orlando. They lost that game. They were a home dog. I think they were a home dog. Oh, they actually only been a home dog this season once to the Knicks. They lost that game 107-116. That game did go up and over the total as well. Let's just go back. Let's look at them last year as a home dog too. Oh Lord, I forgot about this trend. I remember this. The Heat are 0-13 last 13 games as a home dog. 1-12 against the spread. They have been getting smoked in this spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 straight games they've lost and didn't cover. The only cover they had came against the Celtics. They covered by half a point. They were getting 5.5, and they lost by 4. Wow. And their offense is terrible. They averaged 101 points going back to last season as a home dog. Yeah, I'll take Cleveland minus the 3. I'm not sure why the line's so short, but I like the Cavs here. Yeah, you can get 3s. The total is dropping. I like the Cleveland traveling 4th game in 6 nights. I kind of like Miami team total to go under 2 with them having such good offensive games as of late. It's the best number you can get for the team total. You can get a 111. Looks like it's dropped to 110.5 now. Yeah, they're gonna play slow. I don't think Cleveland's gonna play fast. I like Cleveland. I like Miami team total under. I'm just trying to. My live eye screen is going like super slow, snail's pace right now for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but the second eye screen that I use says that the best number is 110.5 right now. So I like Miami team total under 110.5. Especially with them being 3-0 to the under on the second leg of back-to-back games. I also like I like Cleveland minus the 3. Probably gonna add Cleveland minus the 3. I think they can keep it going here. Let me just check one more thing real quick. One more thing I want to check before I make this a bet. Cleveland is 6-1 straight up as a road favorite, 4-3 against the spread. They're winning by average of 10 points per game. The losses that they had came against the Hawks. They lost that game outright. Didn't cover against the Sixers, but they were laying 11.5. Didn't cover against the Bulls. They won that game by 6. They were laying 11. Laying 8. So as long as they're not laying a big number, this is the shortest number that they've laid on the road. The other second shortest number was 5.5, and they lost that game outright to the Hawks. Yeah, you're just gonna have to slow down Tyler Hero, in my opinion. Injury report, which I probably should have checked at the beginning. Looks like Miami has everybody, and it's just a Kuro. So yeah, I know that was super long, and this is why I'm not going through every game. But I like there go the comment I was looking for. Let's see. There we go. Joe got it. 1-10 against the spread as a home dog. Tariq says I like Cleveland with the low number. Joe says since 2000, teams that lost by 30 in previous year and last matchup with the win percentage that's greater than 70 in the first 30 games of 23 and 14 against the spread for the Cavs. Fishy line though. Yeah, it's fishy until you win, Joe. He says, there we go with that number. Chad says Heat have been playing much better now. Healthy can't step in front of Cavs though. I could say first half due to third and 4, so they don't run out of gas. Yeah, that makes sense too, Chad. Third and 4. I think I said it was fourth game in 6 nights for Cleveland as well. I feel like they've been better in the first half than they have been at, on the road. I'm sorry, for the full game. So that makes sense as well. Let's go to Moneyballer real quick to look at the trends. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm going through another game. I got stuff to do today. I can't be on here all day. Cavs 3rd and 4th, second leg of back-to-back, 4th and 6. As far as the first half trends, the Cavs are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games as a overall, just in general. And the Heat are only 1-4 against the spread in the first half. So for whatever reason, they have not been coming out with it. Which is interesting because the Heat were a buy-on team in the first half for a large part of the season. Real quick, let's look at the full season. So, yeah, Cavs have been – they're 13-10-1 against the spread in the first half. I don't know if you got – my AirPod just died. Let me see if I can put the other one in and get it connected real quick. I don't even think I realized it was dying. Let's see. All right, you guys should be able to hear me now. I just changed AirPods. All right, so the Cavs are 13-10-1 against the spread in the first half. As a road favorite, though, not as great. They're 3-4 against the spread in the first half. They have not been great in this spot. The Heat have been a home dog in the first half. Heat are 11-10 against the spread in the first half. As a home dog, they're actually 1-0 against the spread. So that does not set up too well in this spot. But I do think the Cavs are the right side in this game. I think they can win the game by 3. It's just one possession you need them to win by. I kind of like the under 2. Kind of like that team total under. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. I'll make my mind up a little later. Miami team total, you can get a 110.5 right now. It looks like FanDuel got the best number, -105. All right, let's see. Cavs 108, Heat 119 is the math. Oh, so the Heat smoking the Cavs today. Okay. Don't agree. Free Sauce says top of the morning. What up, Free Sauce? Cardio Allen G says, yeah, he be out there just doing nothing. Let's see. Hero should go nuts here. The guards really struggle at defending the 3-point line. As many screens as he comes off. That's a fact, Chad. He does have a significant advantage in this game. The Cavs do not defend the 3-point line well. That would be my hiccup here. Let's see. Hot Heat, what we smoking? What else should I say in it here? Heat have been injured. Now everyone is back. They're playing much better. Dropping Dime says, I like Cavs in the court. Think I might get to the window with this one. What else should I say in it here? Heat record was 2-1, I think I said, on second leg of back-to-backs, chat. Let's see. I think I said 2-1. Yeah, 2-1 straight up, 1-2 against the spread. Where he says that trend can't last forever, bro. Not selling me. What trend? Maurice, let me know what you're talking about. A lot of people like the Heat, I see, huh? So everyone is on the Cavs, and the line has actually come down on a couple books. Chad says. Ryan Dunn, Nurkic. All right, so we just chatting now. Player prop I like today, Shadow. The couple that I have written down just off what people are talking about are Maxey over his 5.5 assists, and Tyrese Halliburton over his 8.5 assists. Potentially Brandon Miller over his points prop against the Pacers. I think Chad mentioned that. Those are the only three that I've looked at so far. What up, Star Child? He says, what up, Chris? Give me the first half under in this game. Yeah, maybe a first half, maybe a full game under 2. Andrew says, Cavs trifecta for the entire game. I know them brothers going to have a nice brunch today at Prime 112. It's a great place to get to get some brunch at Prime 112, man. If you know, you know. He is due for a good game, Mark. Does it come here? We'll see. I mean, Evan Mobley was doing so well yesterday. He didn't really have to do anything. Evan Mobley had a career game yesterday. Okay. All right. Any more games? I'll go through one more. If anybody else got one more game they want me to get through, let me know which one. Because there's a lot of other games on the board for today. Phoenix and Orlando. That total, I think, is continuing to drop. I think it opened 215. Didn't open 215. It opened 211.5. Probably opened higher than that, honestly. But it's coming down a lot. Warriors and Timbs, Jacques says. Warriors and the Timmies. My Lakers, Tasha says, don't want to talk about them. No, I'm not laying 8.5 points with them, Tasha. So let's go Warriors and Timberwolves then. Let's just do Warriors and Timberwolves, and I'm getting up out of here. All right. Warriors and Timberwolves. Looks like I wrote in my notes last night that Warriors open +1, total open 217.5. Warriors have flipped to a 1.5 point favorite, it looks like. Warriors have flipped to a 1 point favorite, and total is 216. So some money coming in on the under, money coming in on Golden State to flip them to the favorite. So let's go through it real quick. We got the Timberwolves, who have dominated the head-to-head matchup. They just beat them the other day. We talked about this the other day, too. They've won 7 of the last 10. They've covered 6 of the last 10. They've won, I think, the last 5 games in Golden State is 1, 2, 3, 4. They won the last 4 games in Golden State as well. They've dominated this team. 5 straight wins. They've covered 4 of the last 5. But they're still at Chase Center. Still at Chase. Minnesota is probably one of the more rested teams in the NBA. It feels like they always have at least a day off or 2. They had the major rest advantage in the last game. Not major rest advantage, but they had the rest advantage. But they caught Golden State slipping on the second leg of a back-to-back in that last game. The Timberwolves have won 4 straight games. They've covered 3 straight games. They don't play again to the 13th. They got the Lakers back at the crib. This is the last of a 3-game road trip for them. On the Golden State side, 3-7 straight up in their last 10 games, 3-6-1 against the spread, 9-1 to the under are the Golden State Warriors. They've actually gone under the total in 5 straight games. And of course, 4 of the other 5 as well. 9-1 to the under is a strong under trend. All right, injury report. We got Wiggins listed as questionable. Aggravated his right ankle during the third quarter in Friday's loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And on the Minnesota side, looks like everybody should be in except Rob Dillingham, who missed the last game, and Joe Ingles, who misses every game. He should just retire too. So we got a bounce back spot here for Golden State. If you think Golden State's gonna bounce back in this spot. Not quite sure. Their offenses just look really, really bad. To put some numbers with it real quickly, Golden State offense on the full season was killing at the beginning of the season, but now they've dropped to a bottom 10 offense on the full season. Last 5 games, they actually have the second worst offense in the NBA. Scoring 103.1 points per 100 possessions. A couple of these games didn't have Steph, didn't have Draymond, but that last game back had both. They're actually shooting the second lowest effective field goal percentage, which is a combination of 3s and 2s. Only shooting 48.7% from the field. They're doing a pretty good job protecting the basketball, 9th in turnover rate, which is important because Minnesota defensively, boy, they top 3 in every defensive category last 5 games, based on my numbers. They're number 1 in opponent points scored per 100 possessions, number 1 in effective field goal percentage. Holding teams to 45% from the field is crazy. Team forcing the most turnovers. Teams got a 21% turnover rate against them. They're giving up the 3rd fewest offensive rebounds. They're sending teams to the free throw line at the 3rd least amount, and they're number 1 in net rating, outscoring their opponent by 21 points per 100 possessions. Minnesota's offense, well, let's just stay with Golden State's offense real quick. Yeah, Golden State isn't doing anything well. They're shooting 32% from the 3-point line last 5 games, which puts them in the bottom 5 in both above the break 3 and all 3. Rim frequency, we know that they don't shoot a lot of shots at the rim. They're bottom 5 and bottom 10 in frequency and accuracy there. Same thing as far as paint shots. Defensively, I talked about it. Timberwolves protecting the rim, number 1 in 3-point defense, number 1 in above the break 3-point defense, top 10 in corner 3 defense. Golden State is bottom 5, bottom 6 in half court offense. Timberwolves number 1. Golden State not really running in transition. 26th in frequency. Minnesota number 1 in points allowed in transition. Yeah, nothing to make me want to like Golden State outside of it being a revenge game for them, and them having a little bit of rest in this spot. If I look at Minnesota offensively, their offense hasn't been really good, but it's more so been their defense. They are 23rd in points scored per 100 possessions, 14th in effective field goal percentage. They do turn the ball over a lot. They're turning the ball over at the 3rd highest rate over the last 5 games. That's been one of their Achilles heel for the full season. For the full season, they're actually 23rd in protecting the basketball. The last 5 games, they're actually 28th. So take with that information, do what you want. They're also not shooting a ton of free throws. They're 27th in free throw rate, so they haven't been getting to the line. Offensively, what they have been doing well is they've been shooting a ton of 3s, and they've been making them shooting top 10 in 3-point shooting, top 3 in above the break 3-point shooting. They're shooting a ton, making a ton. But they're not, when they get to the rim, they're not converting. Rim and paint frequency kind of bottom of the pack. Half court offense 20th. Golden State 17th in defense there. Transition frequency, they're not really getting out and running. They're 23rd in transition frequency, but they have done a really good job in scoring when they do get out and run. They're 5th in points scored per 100 possessions in transition. Golden State defensively allowing teams to run at the 5th highest rate, but they are doing a really good job of getting back. They're 8th in transition points allowed per 100 possessions. So looking at all this, I think under is the right play again. Golden State offense can't score. Minnesota defense is really good. Minnesota offense also isn't that good. And Golden State, after a home loss, being that they are also at the crib again, is probably a profitable angle for under, in my opinion. Let's just go back and look at that. Let's just go last year. I feel like after a home loss and they're still at home, I bet you these games go under. Oh, no, they actually go over. 12-4 to the over are the Golden State Warriors if they are coming off a home loss and they are still at home. 7-9 straight up, 6-10 against the number. Their offense just can't find it right now, though. Just can't find it. They just want to shoot a ton of 3s, and the Timberwolves do a really good job of defending the 3-point line. So I can't get there with the Warriors, even with them flipping to a favorite. I do think the under is in play, but I don't like this strong trend to the over. I'll tell you that. So those are my thoughts on that game. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Rockets Clippers for Chad. I kind of do want to go through Rockets Clippers. I'll tell you why I'm not going through Rockets Clippers. Because of the injury report, Chad. I did look at that. I'm pretty sure you have as well. Harden questionable. Norman Powell is back. Fred VanVleet questionable. Does the Houston Rockets ever want to win a game on the road? Like, I'm not sure, man. I know I can't bet the Rockets on the road. That's one thing I can't do. Like, it don't matter who they playing against. They could be playing against the Wizards. I probably just lay off the game. The Rockets are reverting back to who they were last year on the road. You can't beat the Warriors without Steph and Draymond. You got the Cup game coming up as well. I can't play the Rockets. Can't play the Rockets. And they probably gonna win because I said that, but I know I can't play the Rockets. So that was one of the reasons I didn't. Just my general thoughts on that game, especially with Noah Powell back. Like, Rockets can't score the basketball. 3-point offense will make your eyes bleed. I can't get there with the Rockets at all. Let's see. I leaned to the over in the Clips game, another under in the Warriors game. Yeah, I like the under in the Warriors game, start y'all. I think that makes a lot of sense. Chad says Wolves on a mission. They are. Absolutely are. T-Wolves 103, Golden State 94 is my math, Moneyball says. Okay. Does Golden State get their revenge today? I don't know. I don't know if they get their revenge. Let's see real quick how Golden State have done in revenge games so far this season. So going back to last season specifically, Golden State was 8-16 in revenge spots last season. They did not get a lot of revenge. 8-16 straight up, 12-11 against the spread last season were the Golden State Warriors with revenge. This season, Golden State is 0-1 in revenge games. They lost to the Clippers. I remember that. They lost to the Clippers at home, went into LA, also lost that game to the Clippers as well, 99-102. So they're only 0-1. That game did go under by 25 points though. Man, last week, if you guys remember, I gave out like 4 unders, I think it was, on Sunday. I got smoked. I played the Timberwolves. The Denver Nuggets were playing against the Clippers last Sunday. I took the under, got smoked. The Houston Rockets were playing against OKC in Houston, where they play really good defense. I got smoked. It was a couple more unders as well. So I had already told myself, I knew on Sunday I wasn't going with a whole bunch of unders for whatever reason. I don't know if it was that game, that Sunday, or whatever it was. Sundays are weird, man. I can't quite get there. I already got an under. I feel confident about it. We'll see how it goes, though. I do like the under in this Warriors game, though. I really, really do like the Warriors and the game under in the Warriors. DiVincenzo over his 2.5 assists should be easy, Dougie Bone says. Chad says don't like the line movement, but can only look at the Wolves. The defense has been incredible since Ant-Man called them out, and that's a fact. That is a fact. Stephen says, I think Steph should have a good game here in the revenge spot. I don't know if that's enough, though. Jacquees says, I was thinking Timberwolves and under from your prediction. Yeah, it would only be that way. It would only be, I think I like under just because the Timberwolves offense can struggle. Golden State, we saw them play some really good defense against Houston the other day, but now they have equal rest, didn't have to travel because the game's still at home. I don't know if y'all saw it. I forgot to mention this, but Ant like kind of screamed on the Golden State Warriors fans, and he screamed on Steph too. He's like, I don't know if y'all saw that when he was walking off the floor after he pretty much put the dagger in him the other day. So yeah, take with that information what you want. Give me the under, Star Child says. He'll take the under 215. Dad says totally off subject, but Black Ops 6 is sick. I ain't played Black Ops since like college. It's been a while. Let's see. I like the Clippers tonight. Fear the beard, Jacquees says. Appreciate you for tapping in, Tariq. I'm about to get off here myself. T-Wolves sounds like the look, Moneyball, but I didn't play it. Under Kuminga points and rebounds, Dougie Bone says. Couldn't talk you off any unders for the Golden State Warriors with the Timberwolves defense being, like I said, number one. I just see like dark green is the only thing lighting up, which is great when I'm looking at my numbers for the Timberwolves defense recently. They defended everything really, really well right now. So cannot talk you off. Let's see. Where can I get this hat? Where can you get the hat from? You can get this hat from anywhere, man. You never seen a Grinch hat before? These hats everywhere. Get you a little Grinch hat, man. You know, little Grinch beanie. All right, cool. All right, that's it, man. Let's get into a quick recap. I told you guys what I bet already. Told you guys I hadn't locked in for the full game. I'm not going through all of these games today. I'll kind of look at a couple spots. This is what I had written down, though. I already had this written down. I did bet Philly team total up and over 117.5. I did bet Bucks and Nets under 219.5. Both of those numbers have moved a little bit this morning, but I do like both of them. I think that they both cash. Indiana Pacers team total up and over 116.5. I didn't quite get there, which is why it's in red, but I do think this is a spot where Charlotte runs out of gas. I mentioned them being bottom 5 defensive team. And second leg of back-to-back with travel. You got a Pacers team at the crib today. I think that they should be able to score. The Pacers should. So potentially may get there. In Denver, if Jokic is ruled in, I'm not Jokic. If Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. are ruled in and Jalen Johnson is ruled out, I'm going to have to take Denver today. I think they could be the ugly dog that bounces back after losing outright to the Washington Wizards last night. So we'll see how that goes. Still a bunch of games to break down. Honorable mentions that's not on the list. Tyrese Maxey out of the check. Tyrese Maxey over his 5.5 assists. Tyrese Halliburton over his 8.5 assists. Brandon Miller potentially over his points. Miami team total under 110.5. May get there with Cleveland minus the 3 and also under 215 between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors as well. So those things are not on the list, but you can take those with, if you want as well. Yeah, I appreciate you for tapping in as well, Taylor May. Appreciate you, Billy. Appreciate you for tapping in as well. That's what we got for today, man. Resources that I use to handicap the games are here. If you guys are interested in checking them out, referral codes are in the description of the video. They'll save you some money, a lot of money, actually, 50% off both jaXon and Moneyballer. If you guys are interested in signing out, check out those links in the description of the video. That'll be the show for today. Back in the morning. No, I think it's no NBA games tomorrow, right? I feel like it's no games tomorrow. I need to double check. I'll do it while I'm on the show real quick. I may get a day off. That'd be great. Got some things I need to update anyway. I feel like tomorrow is no games. Am I right? One game tomorrow. I might do an overnight video. I don't know if I'm going live for one game tomorrow. The New York Knicks and the Toronto Raptors tomorrow. 7:30 on NBA TV. Only game tomorrow. And then we got cup games on Tuesday. We got cup games on Wednesday. Only 2 games on Tuesday. Only 2 games on Wednesday. 2 games. And then Thursday we'll get back into not even a regular slate. A lot of teams going to get some rest this week. Only 3 games on Thursday. Friday we get back into a full day next week. So we'll see how it goes, man. Best of luck on whatever it is that you are betting. Probably won't do a live show tomorrow, if I'm being honest. Not with just one game. May do an overnight video if I look into Knicks and Toronto, but we'll see how it goes, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in as always. Best of luck on your action. Enjoy your Sunday, all that good stuff. I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.